Okay, imagine this for a second. A world, right? No war, poverty, just something in the history books, and big decisions, all made purely on data, not, politics. So it sounds a bit like science fiction, maybe.
It definitely pushes the boundaries of how we think about society right now, for sure.
Well, that's exactly where our deep dive is heading today. We're looking at excerpts from this document, A Greater Dream Digital Shopping Mall. Now, the name might throw you off a bit.
Yeah, sounds like we're talking e-commerce.
Exactly. But it's actually laying out this, well, incredibly ambitious vision, a whole blueprint for a trustless global government.
The sheer scale is what jumps out, isn't it? Thinking beyond, a shopping mall platform to reorganizing the entire planet.
Totally. A listener sent these excerpts over from Shafi Kaluta Abedi, who founded Kaluta Shopping Mall, Inc. And it's not just vague ideas, it gets into the real nuts and bolts, how this AI and blockchain government would actually work, structure, economics, how you'd even implement it.
Right. So for you listening, especially if you like getting your head around complex stuff quickly, seeing the big picture, well, we're going to unpack the core concepts of this greater dream.
Yeah, we'll explore what it's aiming for, how it proposes getting there, and some of the really striking parts of the plan. Should be some aha moments, I think, as we get into it.
Definitely thought-provoking.
So let's get straight to it then. What is the central idea?
Yeah.
It's clearly bigger than online retail.
Oh, way bigger. Shafi Kaluta Abedi's vision, essentially, is taking principles from successful tech businesses, efficiency, reliability, trust built on tech, and applying them globally to governance.
Yeah.
The end goals are, frankly, huge: optimizing global productivity, completely eliminating war, and ensuring a sort of basic level of comfort and security for everyone.
Wow.
And the tools to do it,
Well,
AI and blockchain.
the document seems pretty critical of how things work now, doesn't it? It
Yeah.
doesn't exactly give current governments a glowing review.
No, it doesn't mince words. It points straight at what it sees as the big failings. Inefficiency, corruption being a big one, bias in decisions, always thinking short term, resource destruction, obviously wars, and just the economic hardship so many people face. It lays it all out there as the problem statement.
Okay, so that's the problem. What's the proposed solution? This AI global government, the AGG, sounds like a fundamental change.
It's a total shift. The idea is a central global AI core, or AGC. This AI would be the main decision maker.
Making decisions based on what, though?
Massive amounts of data. Economic stuff, global trade, productivity numbers, social metrics like health, education, environmental data, climate, resources, and, at least initially, even security threat assessments, until disarmament happens anyway.
But it's not just one giant AI controlling everything from the center, is it? You mentioned decentralized execution.
Correct. That's key. Underneath the GIC, you'd have provincial AI nodes, PANs. These would manage the territories of former nations' provinces, essentially, in this new structure.
Yeah.
So they handle things locally, adapt to regional specifics, but crucially, they have to stick to the global standards and policies set by the GAC. Think global system, local management.
So what happens to politics as we know it? Elections, politicians, parties. Where do they fit?
They don't, basically. This is maybe the most radical part. The proposal is to completely phase out human political structures. No more elections, no lobbying, zero political parties.
Wow. So how are laws made?
It becomes a data thing. AI legislatures draft laws based on predictive analytics. They look at trends, model the impact of regulations, and even the courts change. Judicial AI resolves disputes using smart contracts, all verified on the blockchain.
Right. Blockchain seems absolutely central here, not just for decisions, but recording them too.
Absolutely central. The whole thing is designed for radical transparency because blockchain is immutable, right? Public ledger. Every decision, every bit of spending gets logged. So theoretically, any citizen could audit where money is going in real time. The aim is zero corruption because it's all out in the open, managed by the system, not hidden away by people.
Let's dive into the economic side then. How does this AGG handle money? Taxes, basic needs. How's that all supposed to work?
It's pretty detailed. Taxation, fully automated, AI managed. Because financial activity is on the blockchain, the AI can track income in real time.
So no hiding income.
Pretty much. And tax rates could even be dynamic. They might adjust based on income, yes, but also wealth, maybe even economic contribution. The document floats the idea of lower taxes for entrepreneurs, for instance.
Interesting.
And smart contracts would automatically deduct the taxes, makes evasion, well, extremely difficult.
And what about ensuring people have the basics? Food, housing, healthcare. That's a massive global challenge now.
That's presented as like the absolute first priority, a universal basic needs guarantee, or UBN.
UVN.
So the first slice of tax revenue goes straight to ensuring everyone has food. Basic housing specifically mentions the first house healthcare and lifelong education.
Everyone gets this.
Well, the level of support depends on income. Wealthier people might get less subsidy or none, paying more into the system. But the baseline guarantee is there for all.
Okay, so basics covered first. What happens with the rest of the money?
That flows into what they call an infrastructure and global productivity fund.
Right.
This would be for big projects, upgrading transport smart cities, hyperloops, drone logistics are mentioned, developing energy fusion, advanced solar, and digital infrastructure like 10G internet everywhere, quantum computing.
And who decides where to invest?
The AI does. Based on data, prioritizing regions and projects that offer the biggest boost to the global economy or, societal well-being.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. Disarmament, another huge one. And AI managing that sounds, well, ambitious doesn't quite cover it.
It's definitely bold. The GAC, the Global AI Core, would be the central authority for disarmament. It gets real-time data on weapons, security situations.
And the PANs enforce it locally.
Exactly. The provincial AI nodes handle implementation in the regions. And a key part is AI-verified auditing of all arsenals. A phased, globally coordinated process, all tracked step by step on the blockchain.
So the blockchain is the proof. You can't just say you got rid of weapons. It has to be verified on the ledger.
That's the idea. They even talk about tokenizing military assets, like creating a unique digital token for every missile, every tank, every rifle registered on this global blockchain.
Wow. Digital tags for weapons.
Yeah, for total transparency and tracking. Smart contracts would then automate the decommissioning schedules. And if something goes wrong, a violation, the system flags it automatically, triggers enforcement.
So if you phase out traditional militaries, what provides security? You're just relying on everyone playing nice, surely.
The vision shifts towards AI peacekeeping and, importantly, predictive conflict resolution. The AI constantly analyzes global data to spot tensions early and, ideally, find ways to de-escalate them before they blow up.
So preventing fires instead of just putting them out.
Exactly. And instead of human soldiers, you'd have non-lethal AI peacekeepers. Think advanced robots, sophisticated surveillance, cyber defense.
Non-lethal. Okay.
And cyber defense AI would handle digital threats, making physical cyber warfare maybe unnecessary. The document also thinks about the economic shift, too.
What happens to all the defense companies and soldiers?
It suggests redirecting those industries, aerospace, advanced manufacturing towards civilian projects like space exploration, infrastructure, green energy, and for former military personnel. AI-managed retraining and reintegration programs to help them shift into new roles.
Okay, let's talk legal stuff. Replacing human judges with AI. That feels like a big leap for people's sense of justice.
It is. The legal system proposed is heavily based on smart contracts. Laws become almost like computer code. If condition A happens, consequence B is automatically triggered.
Programmatic law.
Right. And AI arbitration systems replace human judges. The idea is the AI learns from literally all past legal cases, all precedents, to make consistent, maybe unbiased rulings.
Maybe. Bias in AI is a big concern, though.
It is, and we'll get to the challenges mentioned. But the system also focuses on crime prevention, using predictive AI again, looking at social and economic data to spot risk factors.
And focusing on rehabilitation.
Yeah, rehabilitation through AI-assigned programs rather than just punishment after the fact.
It's a mind-bogglingly huge overhaul of everything. Is there any sense of a timeline? How could this possibly happen?
Well, the document does propose a roadmap, 3 phases. Phase 1 is transition, maybe 5 to 10 years.
What happens then?
You'd see AI advisory councils popping up in existing governments, nations starting to merge into bigger, say, continental unions, and pilot projects trying out blockchain taxes or disarmament tracking in stable regions first.
Okay, testing the waters.
Then phase 2, full AI governance. That's maybe 10 to 20 years down the line. This is where human governments are formally dissolved, the PANs are fully deployed, resource allocation, disarmament, fully automated via smart contracts.
The big switchover.
Pretty much. And phase 3, optimization, is ongoing, 20 years plus, constantly refining the AI models with new data, expanding the infrastructure, the AI peacekeepers, aiming for that 100% basic needs coverage and total disarmament.
Okay. With something this, revolutionary. There have got to be massive challenges. Does the document acknowledge the potential problems?
It does, yeah. It tackles several big ones head-on and suggests solutions, like the AI bias issue you raised,
Right.
the proposed fix, using open-source data, diverse data, and constantly stress-testing the AI with adversarial methods to find and root out biases.
What about people resisting? Powerful people who like the current system.
Yeah, resistance from elites. It anticipates that. The suggestion is a gradual, phased handover of power rather than a sudden shock to try and manage that. Cybersecurity is another obvious risk.
Hacking the global government AI, not good.
Definitely not. So, quantum encryption, decentralized backups of the blockchain, ways to make the system highly resilient to attack.
And the military-industrial complex. They might not like disarmament.
Address too. The idea is those economic transition plans we mentioned, shifting industry focus, offering incentives for civilian R&D, make it economically viable to change.
What about things like terrorism or black markets? Things outside the official system.
The proposal relies on AI-enhanced predictive policing for that, plus the economic upliftment from the UBN. The thinking is, if you address the root causes poverty, lack of opportunity, you reduce the drivers for those activities.
It certainly sounds like they've tried to anticipate the counter-arguments. What's the final takeaway message from A Greater Dream?
It really circles back to the potential. Creating a world without war, without corruption, with huge productivity gains, all through this AI and blockchain integration and disarmament.
But it leaves a question hanging, doesn't it?
It does, the big one. Will humanity actually want this? Will people support and embrace such a massive transformation? The author seems hopeful, suggesting that while some powerful groups might resist, the majority of people, those most let down by current systems, will see it as essential for, a better future.
So, wrapping up this deep dive into A Greater Dream, wow, it's definitely unveiled a truly radical vision. Goes way beyond just a business plan, that's for sure.
Absolutely. It's a fascinating, maybe wildly optimistic look at how technology could reshape governance. It forces you to think about data-driven decisions on a planetary scale.
And for you, listening, mull over that central question the author poses. Will humanity support and embrace this? It hits on deep issues, right? Trust in tech, human agency, what governance even means.
Yeah, we've really only scratched the surface here. It's such a complex idea. Think about what parts resonate or what questions pop into your head. What other challenges, maybe ethical ones, haven't we even touched on? This is just the start of a much, much bigger conversation, I think.